Bismillah. My name is Amina Wadud. I am a retired and soon-to-be visiting professor, PhD, and I wanted to give a little audio clip about my experience working with Jeff Council, because actually I learned how to do this working with him, and I have a nice fancy camera to do it, and I learned to create what I call the studio. We had a contract that ran roughly 3 months. I found him to be really efficient and that he really knows his stuff, and if he does it, he has a way to be able to move from what he knows to learn new things with a great deal of fluidity and accuracy. I find him accessible. He's funny. He's politically, in the right corner of things. And for me, I should be more specific that I started using the PC when I was finishing my dissertation, and I didn't think of it as more than just a sort of hyped up word processor. And I stayed that way for the next 20 years or so, and then things kind of expanded with the web, but it took me some time to catch up with that, and I had to take a course at my previous university just to kind of get up to speed. And then I've been retired for 15 years. So after I learned new things, I used them for the next 4 or 5 years, and then I kind of let things slip. About 4 years ago, I migrated from the PC to the Mac. Felt like, with the iPad and the iPhone, which I had, it was kind of telling me that I needed to integrate those systems, and also that was going to be the way of the future. I just needed to, get on board. But I never mastered the Mac. It was always over my head. I was losing documents. I didn't know where things went. It was really frustrating, and it began to kind of make me sick, as a matter of fact. So it's about at that point that Jeff and I started working together. I now have a super cool system. I know how to use multiple screens. I actually have 2 desktops to facilitate that. I have secured all of my online passwords outside of the systems that, the corporate systems of Google and Apple, but they're safe. They're more safe than they used to be. I learned how to do my sound check for things like, using an external camera microphone system. So as I said, I learned how to do a little bit of editing. I'm going to show you some just so you'll know, because I'm going to walk in and out of this, but I'm only going to let you see a little bit of that because I'm going to just go ahead and clip it. The biggest thing I think was to become comfortable with my material, and my technology materials, and I think the only way to do that is if you really feel like you can trust the person that you're working with, and that trust is not just based on them advertising themselves, but on whether or not they can come through for you in the places where things seem to get stuck, or you get super frustrated. In that respect, I think Jeff went above board. We had our regular times that we met virtually, but he was accessible if I needed to just vent because something had gone wrong or I was afraid of something. He was amenable to that. He works really hard. He is not only skilled, but he is creative, and he pitched a few things that sort of didn't turn out to be the thing that I wanted to do, but he accepts that. He doesn't force you to do something that he feels like is an efficient way to do it, but you're not getting it because I really didn't get Airtable, but maybe next time around. So I just thought, instead of the old-fashioned thing, writing a letter, I should do something that somewhat demonstrates some of the skills that I learned, and make it a little bit a talk thing that can be plugged in to help promote the quality of this particular work. I'm really, really, really pleased with the experience, and I recommend Jeff Council highly. Thanks. Bye.